everyone, today's video is going to be a finale of a Project Pan. I know the lighting's a little weird today. It's really dark outside because it is, what, like 8:30 a.m. on a, cool December day. But that's okay. I feel like we're just going to go with it. Because I wanted to do my finale of my 25 Days of Christmas Project Pan. I was out of town for Christmas, so it is a little late. But hopefully that's okay with you guys. So before this finale, I had finished 5 of the 25 items. It was a rolling pan, so I had kept adding items in. I only ended up finishing 4, or hitting goal on 4 of them, so not the best, but that's okay, because this was a huge project pan, and I didn't really think I'd finish it, and I had so many other project pans going, which is why I've said many times I'm probably going to end up taking this couple of steps back, and not doing quite as many project pans, and focusing on some other things, but that's okay, we'll do that, talk about that later. Today we're going to talk about this project pan. So as I said, before this update had 5 empties. I finished a bronzer, a powder, I hit pan on a ColourPop shadow, I hit pan on a concealer, and I hit pan on a highlighter. Everything that I've hit pan on, or everything that I've used up, and pretty much anything that you could want is in the description box. That's what I'm trying to say. So all of that is to say that I had 5 finished before this finale. I ended up finishing this eyeshadow, which is the H&M Infinite Color Eye Pack in the shade Infinite Impact Eye Color. That's what I was trying to say. And the shade Mesmerized Me. It was a really dark green, and I had it in here for the Grinch, the movie. I used this quite a few times, but it just kept breaking and breaking and breaking. And actually, the whole reason why this pan is empty is because it just shattered into a billion pieces. So, this guy is finished. I'm calling it done. For red, ooh, sorry about that. You never know that's going to happen. For red, as in, Christmas colors being red and green, I finished up the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation. So this is completely gone. I didn't really love this foundation. I know a lot of people do, and I say it's really great for dry skin. I have normal dry skin, and I felt like it looked a little cakey on me, so was not the biggest fan of that. This was not for a certain Christmas-themed thing. It was just because it is red and green glitter. And you can't really tell, but trust me when I tell you it is all gone. I can't get any more out, like to do a nail color. You can see that. Like, to just do a glitter top coat, I can't get any more out. This is the Sephora by OPI Good Tidings We Bling. They don't make it anymore, but it's a really great glitter. And last but not least, the 4th item that I hit my goal on was in my Lorac Beauty and the Beast Tale of Its Time palette. And what I wanted to do with this palette is hit pan on the shade Beast Mode. And this was for the movie Beauty and the Beast because there's the beautiful Christmas snow scene. And as you can see right there, I did hit pan. This was a really nice navy shade, so got some use out of this palette. There we go. So that is the 4 items that I have hit pan on, hit goal on, finished up for this project, which means that I, in total, did 9 items, which is quite a few. I know that is a lot less than my 25 goal, but that's okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go back up to the top of this list. I do have my computer right here so I can tell you everything. Let's go ahead and talk about the other items that did not quite make it. I have the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade number 5. This was for I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. I just, put it through my brows. I do think that there's a lot less in here, but it's not done yet. So, gonna keep working on this guy. For All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, I decided to try to hit pan in something in this Cheekathon palette. I didn't really think I'd be able to do it, but I want to hit pan in the shade Hoola. And maybe you can tell there is a slight dip. Not the biggest dip, definitely no pan, but there is a slight dip. I also ended up using Rockator Dandy. I ended up using these other blushes more because I had this color in my pan, but yeah, there we go. Some usage, not the goal. For Last Christmas, which is my all-time favorite Christmas song, I have this Urban Decay Troublemaker Mascara. This is so close to being finished. I probably have less than a week left if I had to guess. But here's the wand. It's still going, so I'm not gonna call it quits until it's really, really gone. Next, we have Merry, just as in like Merry Christmas. And for that, come here. I have my Lorac Dead Man Tale No Tails palette. I absolutely love this palette. It was limited edition this year, and it's great. Just great. It makes me happy. And I want to hit pan on the shade Sea Haze. And again, there's a little bit of a dip. I did use this quite a few times, but not enough to hit pan on it. I love this entire palette. I love this assortment of colors. I think it's really fun. So I'm glad to still have this and, you know, be getting some use out of it. Next, we have Gilmore Girls, which is just the best thing ever. I love that show. It's like very much a family thing for my sister and mom and I. And I went to use up the shade Snow from the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I did not even hit pan on it. I went to completely use it up. You can see there is a dip, a little dip, but I wanted to use it up and I didn't quite make that goal. So that's okay. We're just gonna, you know, put it back in my collection and see what happens. I'm thinking I'm gonna pan that palette with this. I'm never gonna pan that palette, so I'm kind of still going back and forth, but I'm thinking I'm going to. For Nutcracker, I have something from the MAC Nutcracker Sweet Collection. This is the Cool Eye Compact. I don't really love this palette, if we're being honest, but I wanted to actually hit pan in the shade Nutcracker. I'm using it every day to set my liner, but you can see there's a dip. There's definitely a dip right there, but no pan, so what are you going to do? Next, we have Baby It's Cold Outside, the song, and I actually have my Milani Shadow Eyes in 01 Winter White. Before I started, the whole word Milani was out. I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of this, so I'm really excited about that, to have this complete, not gone, but I would say I used up probably a third of it. So that's pretty good. For Elf, as in the Will Ferrell movie, I wanted to use up completely this green concealer. This is the Physicians Formula Perfecting Concealer Duo in the shade Green and Light. And I did make a lot of progress on it. I hit some more pan, but as you can see, it's definitely not gone. I really had pretty good skin for the past 4 months or so, so, you know, I can't complain about that. I mean, I didn't need to use this green concealer. So, you know, that's okay. Excuse me. From Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, I love that movie. We watch it every year as a family. I have this Sephora Minis World in Color eyeshadow palette. And I wanted to hit pan on the shade Starlet in here. And I didn't quite make it. But again, we've got a very, very big dip. I don't think if I used this a few more times, I would have hit pan. But alas, I did not. So, just going to go back into my collection. But I'm so excited that I got definitely got use out of all of these items, which is the main goal. You know, I mean, obviously I'd like to use things up and finish up and hit pan and all of that, but really just being able to say, hey, I use this palette, because goodness knows the way I go, or I had been going, it's definitely possible I wouldn't have used that all year. So, at least I got some use out of that. For Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, it's a Paul McCartney song, and I love that. I chose a shade from my Sephora and Pantone Universe Modern Watercolors eyeshadow palette. And I wanted to hit pan on this silver shade right here. It is called 13-4201. It's a very fun name. And I didn't quite hit pan, but again, we do have a dip. I had to use this wet because it definitely is like a flaky shade. But I've got some use out of it, which is the goal. Next, we have Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. And for that, I have the Milani 3D Glamour Gloss in the shade 07 Putting on the Ritz. This I still have, but you can hopefully see, like, there's definitely a lot of room in there. I'm not saying I'm done with it, not by any means, but I've gotten a lot of use out of it, so that's exciting. Next, we have Happy Christmas. And for that, I chose the Tarina Tarantino Pure Velvet, Magic Hour Smudge Pen in the shade Purple Velvet. it's one of those where you have this little stopper and the actual product is in there. I don't really like this. It was very hard to use and it never really applied exactly like I wanted, so I still have it. But I used it a few times, which is, you know, good. Next, for Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I have the Too Faced Matte Eyeshadow collection. And for this, I really wanted to use a hit pan on the shade Velveteen Bunny. And as you can see, I have a huge dip, but not quite pan. Really close, but not quite there. So it's kind of discouraging. But again, I got a lot of use out of that palette, so that's good. For A Christmas Carol, I chose the shade, the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Ozone. I've used up about half of this, so that's pretty good. I'm excited to have gotten some use out of this lip liner. Not quite done, but progress. Next, we have I'll Be Home for Christmas. And for that, I have the Revlon Matte Balm in the shade 250 Standout. This past month, I've been using it every day as a lipstick and also as a cream blush to really try to get as much use out of it as I could. And if you compare it to where I was last month, I definitely did. I got some use out of it. Still have a ton of product left, but I used some of it, so that's what I really wanted to do. There's a heap. Alrighty. Next, for Just Santa Claus, I chose the MAC Nutcracker Sweet Face Compact and I wanted to hit paint on the blush in At Dusk. As you may or may not know, this highlighter is completely shattered, but I got a ton of use out of this blush. I was really close to hitting pan on it, but I didn't quite make it. This is probably one of my favorite blushes I own, so, you know. And this highlighter was just shattered, but it's a beautiful highlighter as well. Next, for We Wish You a Merry Christmas, I have the Balm Merry Luminizer. I put 2 highlighters in this palette, which was a terrible idea. I wanted to hit pan on it, and I do have a dip, as you can see. But no pan, so I didn't really meet my goal for this one. For It's a Wonderful Life, I have the Sonia Kashuk nail color in the shade Smoke and Mirrors. It was all the way, like, brand new when I started, and now we're down to here. So what is that? Maybe a quarter of the bottle used up? Not great, but pretty good, you know. Definitely got some use out of that nail polish. For Nightmare Before Christmas, I have the IT Cosmetics No Tug Waterproof Eyeliner. I don't really like this guy either. I don't feel like it does a very good job on the waterline. I don't think it stays that well. And on the top lash line, you have to go over it a gazillion times. But there's my progress. I definitely used up probably about, I don't know, 2/3 of this item. So that's pretty good. I'll still use it, but it's not so great, if we're being honest. The next item I have is the shade Coal. It's Coal, as in like you get a lump of coal for your stocking. And for that, I have the Too Faced Joy to the Girls palette. And I wanted to hit pan on the shade Prancer, which is right here. And that did not happen, as you can tell. I used it a couple of times, not really that much even. But, you know, a few times is a few times, but no pan. And the last item is this Jelly Pong Pong Glow Getter Luminizer Gel. It's a liquid highlight, and I used up about half of it. But I did not completely use it up. This was just a liquid highlight that I put on every day. So, 25 items. I finished 9. I made this a rolling project pan, so, you know, I definitely got some use out of things. I definitely worked as hard as I could, and I'm happy about it. I wish I would have hit 25, but 9 is still definitely not something to laugh about. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please leave me any questions, requests, suggestions, comments down below. Speaking with y'all is one of my all-time favorite things, so don't be afraid to comment whatever you want. I usually do say that whatever's on my face will be listed below, but because this pan is so large, and I have so many videos, like I've done a review of almost every single eyeshadow palette and things like that, I don't have room to also put what is on my face. But if you have any questions, just leave me below. And yeah, that's all I have for you. So with that, I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.